Hey guys, Yoda here. In this video, we'll go over some of the changes coming in 10.2 to Outlaw Rogue. The spec looks very promising and has a super fun playstyle, and right now it's also really strong. So here's the new talents. Biggest changes are going to be at the bottom here. We have Crackshot, which is a new talent. You're between the eyes, no longer has a cooldown as long as used from stealth, and it uses an extra dispatch. So basically what this means is your stealth windows, instead of being used to like not Sinister Strike with hidden opportunity, now they're like huge burst windows. You just go BT, 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 or BT, ambush, BT, something like that, right? So that's huge. Then underhanded upper hand addresses a lot of problems people had with Outlaw in the past. Basically the first two lines make it so your Slice and Dice and Blade Flurry are a lot easier to keep up. Blade Flurry doesn't run out during AR, and Slice doesn't run out during Blade Flurry. So like when you have all your buffs running, they basically just all like extend each other, which is super epic. AR also just stays on when you're stealthed, and stealth abilities, your window is 6 seconds instead of 3 with underhanded upper hand. This like adds to subterfuge, right? So this is 3 and subterfuge is 3, so it's 6. The next change is Ghostly Strike is now off the global. I think it's super worth taking. Some people don't like it, but I think it's super crazy. It's like has really high uptime, at least in the tests I've done, and it basically makes your single target and prio really high. You could drop Ghostly Strike and 1 point in Fan for 2 points and summarily dispatched. A lot of people like this talent. Personally, I tried it a couple times, didn't like it as much, but you know, raid bots will figure it out for us at the end. Up here, some stuff is moved around. You're gonna take the BT talents here over here because obviously with Crackshot, it synergizes really well. This middle row, I guess it's not really in the middle, this row over here is all utility talents. So basically you get to pick 2 or 3 if you really want heavy hitter. Or Death Maneuvers, I suppose, but I'm not taking Death Maneuvers anymore. So you get 2 of these, which I think before you would never take Float Like a Butterfly. Now you get it, makes your feint and your evasion super low cooldown. Very good. Those are the changes on the right. On the left here, a lot of stuff's moved. The main result is we first of all get Airborne Irritant, which is an AoE stop. The first one that Rogue has, other than like sub AoE Kidney, but yeah, this is new for Outlaw. An AoE stop is something Rogue never had. That's very good. In the middle here, you can take some other stuff here, like Nimble Fingers is really good. Personally, I prefer the Sprint. You have 60-second sprint now with longer duration. And also you get 2 feints for some reason. That's cool. Down here, some stuff has moved around, but I think for Outlaw, it is mostly unchanged. We don't take Cold Blood anymore, I don't think. You have Vigor, which you already had before. You have Shadow Dance, and you have Deeper Stratagem, which you already had before, I believe. And then you also have Night Stalker, which is now down here, 10% basically during Shadow Dance. Acrobatic Strikes is now a DPS loss, but for Outlaw, I think it's always worth it. In practice, you'll probably lose more damage by not having it than by losing 1 lethality. So yeah, those are the talents. Super cool, especially Crackshot and Underhanded Upper Hand. Now the tier set. 2 set is Sinister Strike, 15% extra chance to strike an additional time, which is cool. Makes the rotation a lot smoother, but not game breaking. The 4 set is the crazy part. So Roll the Bones randomly refreshes a buff you have for 40 seconds. So if you don't think about that at all and just spam Roll the Bones when you were normally going to, basically you just have an extra buff, right? But you can game it. So what you can do is if you have a certain buff as your longest duration buff, you can keep that buff forever by, let's say you have like True Bearing, which is the one you want, at 30 seconds, and your next highest buff is at 20 seconds, right? Well, then you just wait 20 seconds before you use Roll the Bones, and True Bearing should be the only buff you have. You push Roll the Bones, and it will pick the only buff you have to extend to 40 seconds. And then from there, True Bearing is 40. Your next highest buff is 30, so it'll just keep True Bearing. And then you can do that again. 30 seconds later, True Bearing will be the only buff you have. You can roll again. It can get a little bit gimped by Count the Odds. Some people drop Count the Odds just so that it never happens, but there's a trick you can do. As long as all your buffs are off, then roll your tier set will make your most recently extended buff the new extended buff. So the only way you can mess up is if you actually push roll the bones when CDR isn't your only remaining buff, which can happen. Outlaw Outlaw is really high APM spec, so you might mess up, but yeah, you just have to react in case you don't react every time before you push roll the bones. You have to check if you got to count the odds proc. That's basically all it is. So yeah, those are the changes. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to do a dummy test here. This is cleared. So the first thing that changes, by the way, is you can literally just push buttons out of combat. So I can Blade Flurry AR stealth, and they won't reduce duration because of underhand upper hand. Then we can also roll the bones and slice and dice. So CDR is not my highest roll, so we'll have to fish for it from here. So here we go. Little pot, getting ace procs. I currently do have True Bearing, so I think it's correct to Vanish instead of Shadow Dance. Wasted a ace proc there. I need to roll now. Oh my gosh, okay, it's actually just the highest buff. Okay, so that was lucky. I got it instantly. This should be a good run. Notice my ARs has 10 seconds left, and it's like off cooldown, so that's pretty epic. I'm not going to use BTE until Vanish is ready. You can use BTE when Vanish isn't ready, but not if Vanish is coming. It will be up before BTE is up, basically. Okay, roll here, everything fell off. So here I can BTE, because I won't, like this and this won't have to wait for it, right? Shadow Dance and Vanish won't have to wait for it. This one, I think you can use. Actually, it's a little bit sus. Maybe it'll cause problems. Yeah, actually here I can't Vanish because I use that BTE, so that's wrong. Okay, Vanish. Wasted an ace proc by accident. A little AR to refill on the last one. Okay, I for sure thought that was in the stealth window, but I guess not. A little bit greedy, but oh well. True Bearing forgives all. So we're in a stealth window, we're spamming BTE, then we're out of the stealth window, we refresh it with Vanish. We can use BTE there because it'll come back up. We refresh AR, excellent. Might have been better there to save AR for a combo point refill in my window. But oh well. Lots of little small optimizations you can do, which makes this one of my favorite specs. Yeah, I vanished there early so I could actually extend my area. So I was at 0.8. I wanted to not run out before my stealth window. Big procs. Okay, I'll hit this for like 30 more seconds and then we'll call it. So you're going to see the CTO trick here. I'm going to let everything fall off, and then we roll right now, and CDR is still the longest, right? So that's the trick. I'm going to let AR fall here. Can AR now, so refill combo points. Alright. Well, that's actually a really good run. I was at 480k DPS on 5 target. That's crazy. So yeah, that's Outlaw. Super fun. Probably needs to be toned down a little bit. The tier set thing, like with extending CDR forever, also seems a little bit broken. We'll see what they do with that. So that's a first look. Super promising. Hope they don't nerf it too much. I will be playing this build a lot on stream this weekend. Hopefully you guys tune in. And don't forget to follow. And I'll see you guys later.